50K to cousins, post a caption, pray none of my enemies hold me captive. I grieve different.
This is happening currently to a lot of you motherfuckers, so I'm gonna drop some free game for you. Rule of thumb for this not to happen to you: if you do start talking to a girl and within 3 days of texting her, you don't have a date scheduled, stop talking to her. You're a full-grown adult and you're texting somebody all day long for what? Not to meet up with them and see how they are, get to know them? So if you've been texting for a couple days and you don't have a date scheduled, she's just not that into you. Give it up, move on to the next one.
You open up to a woman, at least as a man, there's like a 98% chance that she's probably gonna ghost you or move on to a different man, okay? This tends to perplex a lot of people, and they often ask the question of why, and some people are just so jaded they stop asking why. They just decide that women are just like this and they live with it. But women often see men as ideas, not really who they are as an individual. So essentially, if you open up to a woman, you're becoming a real person. You can no longer fit in the confines of the idea, the box that she has placed you in.
Do you think I'm a good sister?
No.
Bro, why?
You're my sister. You're mean to me.
I mean to you when you're failing your classes, yeah.
I'm not failing.
A D.
It's not failing.
That's a D, it's failing.
F is failing.
A D is failing.
For you it is, because you're an A+ child.
Right, I am.
Shut the hell up. You're literally doing your career isn't only. You can't be talking. You're selling pictures of whatever. You can't be saying all that studying was for what? For what?
You have a lot of these modern women that continue to ask why men are checking out of dating so fast, right? And a lot of men on the other side feel like dating in society is asking him for his entire portfolio, full effort. And there's no ROI. There's no clear path to what do I get in return? What's in it for me? There's no clear path. And when you ask for a clear path, you're a misogynist. You're thinking like you're still in the patriarchy. It's 2026 or it's 2027, it's whatever year it is. You're back in the Stone Ages. You know, you got to come up out of that and just allow me to do whatever I want.
Men melt when a woman speaks softly. But a lot of women don't want to hear that because they think being sweet makes them look weak. But that's a huge mistake because a woman's greatest power is her softness. Think about it. If he wanted another alpha energy in his house, he would have married another man. So if you ever have caught yourself thinking, he never does anything that I ask him to, it's probably because you talk to him like you're another guy challenging him. Try using your feminine, soft, lighter tone of voice more often and just watch how differently he treats you. I've never heard a no from my husband when I speak to him gently. He's even told me that he can't resist when I ask that way. If it feels hard to switch into that sweet version of you, it's because you've permanently turned on that masculine energy without even noticing. And that puts your relationship at risk.
Okay, so this was meant to be a joke, right? Please tell me this was meant to be a joke. I surely hope so. Although, I am failing to see anything funny about it. And aren't jokes meant to be, funny? And maybe it's just the subject matter at hand here that I don't find particularly amusing. But what is so hilarious about treating two children drastically differently, one with seemingly preferential treatment, and the other being used as free house cleaning labor? Why is that funny, since the one being used for labor is a boy? Because a lot of women would not find this funny if it was the other way around. But apparently, as long as it's talking about mistreating a male, then it's considered to be amusing. Someone's going to have to explain to me what's so funny about that.
And a lot of these guys, they see you. I mean, you can sit up here and ask, why are men ignoring me? Why don't men approach? But men actually do see you. They're not blind. But a lot of men don't want to sit up here and have to guess if you gonna want me to come over. I don't want to sit up here and guess if I'm gonna get in trouble, or you gonna say something about me and trash me. And in some of these situations, modern women have gotten men kicked out of a gym, kicked out of a club, and all the man did was say, "Hey, what's going on? Oh, he's harassing me." How? I just said, "Hey, I even offered you a drink."
What's the rush? You're doing 96.
I have the cruise control set at 85.
That's still 35 miles an hour with speed limit.
The last time I was pulled over by a cop, he came up to the car and put his hand on his gun. So I'm sorry if I seem a little out of sorts right now.
I just step out of the vehicle and come around back to your trunk with me.
Why do I need to get out of the car?
Cool.
I've never been asked to get outside of my car before.
Well, today you are. Your driver's license is suspended. About to issue some notices to appear for court in lieu of making a physical arrest and taking you to jail, because I don't want to do that. First is going to be a signature. All right, I'm going to go ahead and crumple these up. I'm going to go print out a new copy. If you don't appropriately sign the citations, ma'am, I will be forced to make a physical arrest.
No, that's not a signature. He's trying to work with you. I don't know why you're not working.
So, simply just need your compliance.
Do you want to see my actual signature?
All right, go ahead and turn around, place your hands behind your back for me.
I'm not. Please,
Stay there. Stay there.
I still look at myself and I still see it bad.
And that's black women.
Stop the cap.
Black women, you can't call yourself a bad and them thick arms look like that.
Them thick ankles and them thick wrists. You can tell who gonna have big mama arms early.
You can't call yourself a bad. We gotta cut this out. And what's crazy is a woman like this will say that, and then the women will enable her, right? Again, this is all the mindset. This is all the conditioning.
A lot of these modern women are looking at men, and it seems to them that a lot of men are more detached now than they used to be. Why is a man not walking over to me? Why is a man not risking what his pride and his ego? Just come talk to me. I mean, modern women have literally said, just come over here and talk to me. I might not like you. I'm probably going to reject you, but make my night. I need some attention. Nobody's giving me attention. There's been ladies that have said, man, I went to Australia, and even though I have a boyfriend, I live over here in Australia now. I go to the club, just having fun, and I'm not going to give any of these men the time of day. But none of them gave me the time of day either. What's wrong with you Australian men? Why are you not approaching? Why are you not talking to girls? Do you talk to girls anymore? You got another woman going over to Europe, sitting on the beach. Instead of relaxing in the sun, getting a little tan, sipping on a nice cold drink, you on TikTok, record yourself talking about where the men at. I fly half across the world to Europe, and men ain't approaching over here either. Why do you think that is?
The games are back. Pritzepratzum. That was a good guess. Es tut mir leid. I took 4 years of German. Antixi. Sounds pretty phonetic. Pardon? I speak a little bit of French. Scusi. I've been to Italy. Gomaiwaku o okaki shite moshiwaki gotsamasen. Nice guess. Maf. I don't know this one. You're wrong. You're wrong. That wasn't my intention. I didn't mean to hurt you. Yeah, but I have a good heart. My heart was in the right place. You're wrong. You're wrong. I'm right. I didn't do anything wrong. Say you're sorry. Oh, nice. Pamanhin. Also a good guess. Lo siento. I've been to Spain. Okay, that was pretty good.
This girl never gets hit on, and she needs your help to figure out why.
This is actually something I've been complaining about for a while now. Okay, I'm gonna sound a little stuck up for a second, but I'm attractive. I'm fit, I look pretty good if you ask me. I never get hit on. Ever. And I'm a flirty girl. I'm a real flirty girl. So, if somebody hit on me in line at the store, I'd be all about it. Nothing. I never get hit on. And I don't know why. I would love for someone to give me like the actual genuine reason why it drives me crazy. Like, hit on me, you know, in person. I don't care for it online.
I think we all know the answer to that.
You know, I always think about, when we talk about, you know, approaching and things of that nature, I always think about how men used to say hello a lot, right? Hey, how you doing? But I think with the way modern women act, then a man's, you know, a lot of these men just kind of go their way and they do their thing. You know, why do men do that? How could men ignore us? Not necessarily ignoring them, just going on about my day, right? You have women out here that are crazy. They're weird. Say things like, oh, you know, he's making me uncomfortable because I said hello. Because I said, how's it going? What are your plans for this week? Literally. Like you have women out here. There was a woman got online talking about how a man made her uncomfortable because he asked her, or he mentioned what floor she lived on. It was like, oh, you're from the 4th floor. Oh, now I know you're watching me. No, we live in the same building. We work out at the same gym in our apartment. Are you okay? I've seen you in my apartment. I've seen you in my building. Are you all right?
One of the best pieces of advice in modernity for men, you can love this or hate this, is that generally speaking, taking advice from women about anything is a terrible idea.
What women are you around? Who hurt you?
See what I mean? The idea of who hurt you comes down to your blanket idea, your psychological training of trauma. There's not trauma, it's just pattern recognition.
No, but it'd be your pattern recognition.
Yeah,
everyone's got a different
but
pattern.
Here's the thing, right?
Because you do have a lot of guys that, like, if they grew up with a lot of women, then they actually do tend to go towards more women. And if they had like but if they had a bad relationship, like I have a lot of guys that if they had abuse from men or bullying from men, they actually don't trust the men.
You go immediately to a trauma analysis rather than a logical analysis.
That would be logical. That would be logic.
You make a claim that they think is effective. Women as a category, instant trauma response. Must be trauma. Who hurt you? What happened to you?
Emotional.
What is this thing that triggered this, right? And it's like, actually, there doesn't always have to be a thing. In fact, there most often isn't. You can just use logic and reason to assess the situations around you based around the social relationships people have and determine that women usually give really bad advice, especially to each other.
The reason that pushed me to even bring up divorce and talk about it was the fact that I feel like I can't be myself with my husband. And it's really confusing because I'm 32 years old. I am a mom of 3 and I still don't know who I am. So for me to be like, oh, I can't be myself or you don't love me for who I am isn't really fair because I don't know who I am.
This woman has 3 children. She's 32 years old. They got a dog. And what is wrong with it? She's selfish, and she's bored, right? And why is she bored? Because everything is going really well and she wants something else.
And here's what women will do, modern women. They'll reject a man for years. Right, where they, single moms and stuff like, well, I got men lined up, and they'll say all of this stuff, and they'll talk a whole bunch of trash. They'll sit up here and reject men for years, and expect those same men, to step up. They'll expect those same men to, we need a man to step up. And be a stepdad without question. Well, do this, go here, do that, right? A man ain't got no word from nobody, but just step up, start taking care of my kids. It don't matter if my kids want to disrespect you in the future. I'm not gonna stop it. I'm not gonna be on your side. You're always gonna be a last priority. But step up. Step up to get abused. Step up to get taken advantage of. Step up to be disrespected. Why? Why would anybody want to do that?
I think that any man that's in the dating world that thinks that a woman with children is baggage shouldn't be dating. And I think that that's an insult to motherhood. And
how is it insulting? If you're a single mother dating a man with no kids, at some point you are expecting this man to provide and protect your kid. If he doesn't do that, you're not really going to look at him as a man. Now, does this man have authority to discipline your kids?
I would call my baby daddy and he will be getting his beat.
Okay,
Because
so
you're not touching my son. You're my boyfriend. That's just not gonna happen.
No.
That's
there
my
it is.
child.
The part that's crazy is you can't see that another man has to take on all of this responsibility, but he doesn't have the same authority as the man that you're not even with.
That's his business, and that's what he does.
So
And
this is why it's an L. Responsibility without authority is essentially slavery. And it's like 2 against 1. This come home walking on eggshells. Oh, Dean, I gotta please her and please this little bad, little nasty, little gremlin looking kid. Dad, I gotta please both of y'all. He's in the ultimate form of simpery.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but if he's paying the mortgage so that you can use the money that you make to get your nails done, your hair done, have the occasional TJ Maxx run, get a coffee every now and then he's still providing for you. He's putting a roof over your head, and it gives you the freedom to do the other little girly things that you want to do. And gratitude is a really lost virtue in today's society, especially amongst women. Like, for some reason, we think that we're entitled to millions of dollars and vacations 24/7 and buying anything we want and just spending all the money we want. And that's just not reality. And if this is something that you're struggling with, like, you look at your husband and think that he's not enough and the money he makes is not enough and the job he does is not enough and the work that he does is not enough, and you look at your life and you say that it's not enough and the things you have are not enough, and you want to spend more money and you want to have more things, number one, I would encourage you to take a few days, weeks, or months off of social media. Like, get tapped into your reality and not other people's 1% reality that's on social media. And the second thing I would say is to practice gratitude out loud and saying things and saying, I am grateful for it, thank you God for this, and speaking it out loud. Because the truth is if you have running water, food, and a roof over your head, you're doing better than 90% of the population. If you have a man who works hard for you, regardless of how much money he makes, you are doing better than a lot of people. And you're not entitled to just swipe the credit card and spend all of his money. A really great chapter of the Bible for you to read is Philippians chapter 4, specifically verses 4 through 14. And it's Paul writing from prison. And he's basically talking about how contentment is the secret to life. It's the secret to enjoying your life. And I'm paraphrasing, but he says, I know how to live on everything and I know how to live on almost nothing. And I'm content in both situations. Like, if you're watching this video right now, you're doing better than most of the population.
And modern women want to continue to ask, where are the men who beg? Where are the men who are willing to, be outside your door with a boombox and all that other stuff? And you really honestly and truly have to ask the question, is that something that you would do if people didn't really like you like that? And they all over the internet talking about, don't really like him like that, I didn't really like him like that, and they have to do like astronomical acts and feats in order to get your attention and try to convince you to like them, to date them, to go out with them or something like that. Oh, your father kept on pestering me for 8 months straight, and finally, when I had been passed around the whole town and the whole town didn't want me, I finally decided to go with him. What?
Taking a woman to dinner for the first date is crazy work in 2025. And
at this point, ladies, you're telling the men that they can't take you on coffee dates and they also can't take you on dinner dates. What do you want them to do? Go grocery shopping with you? You want him to bring you along when he's going on his hunting trip with the boys? What do you want? I'm sorry, I did cut her off. What she ends up saying is that women are not acclimated enough, that like it's too much of a shock to be thrown into a dinner date. Like, it's too overwhelming, it's too much. I'm sorry, what do you think it feels like to men? Like, they're the ones that have all the pressure on them to do all of the right things and plan the date, pay for the date, whether it's dinner or coffee. Dating is uncomfortable. You are sitting across from a stranger trying to get to know them. It's awkward. But I think that the people that do it best is that they don't care about these little things. They're not going to nitpick exactly what kind of date you picked for the first date. What they care about more is getting to know you as a person. Because men know if that woman is so nitpicky on the exact date that he picks, that if what he chooses to offer up as a first date actually keeps that woman from wanting to continue to get to know him, yeah, I don't think that's a loss. I think that's a win.
while we're on this subject, you know what I find even more crazy, right? Like, if you were with your baby mom for the first few years of your kid's life and you were providing for them because y'all were together, when you break up and she tries to destroy you, she takes you to child support and they ask her, do you want back child support? She's gonna say yeah, but they allow her to say yeah, and then you're gonna owe all that money from the time you were even with her providing for the kids. And then on top of that, for whatever number that they give you to pay monthly, she's still going to ask you to pay for insurance. She's still going to ask you to pay for the kids' curricular activities, extracurricular activities. She's still going to ask you to pay for anything that's related to the child, while she has to pay nothing. Every season, she wants you to buy the kids clothes. She wants you to do everything but see the kid, but give the kid love. Everything but what the kid actually needs, love and attention, because the financial part for her is the best part. It is very important you watch who you have a kid with, because you end up with a lifetime full of issues because she's bitter and you don't want.
You know, a lot of these modern women like to continue to treat men like a clown. Amusement. You know, why does a man approach me? There's a lot of risks involved in approaching. There's a lot of disrespect involved in approaching. It don't matter where you go, seemingly with these modern women nowadays, you get treated like you cross some type of line and you done something wrong. Like you just eliminated somebody. That's the way they treat you. They look at you like you're a criminal off bat. Let me ask you a question. Who would want to go through that? Which person? Even you. If you go up, like say for instance, if you're sitting in a restaurant and you go up to a waiter and you say, hey, we hadn't gotten our drinks yet. It would be okay if, we haven't been able to order, haven't had anybody come to our table to even see what we wanted or greet us. If that whole staff turned around and looked at you like, what are you doing over here? You instantly leave a review and walk out of there and go find somewhere else to go. Don't go here. It's trash. The service was terrible. We got seated. Nobody. I was reading a post today or over just down the line. People say, oh, it's a trash place. The food is trash and the service was even worse. They're leaving reviews about it. And so now, even if I was thinking about going, I'm not going because you telling me the service is so bad. That's how you are as a modern woman. Nobody's approaching you because you're disrespectful. It is a risk to approach you. Now they're looking at you saying, man, if this woman is trash, if her attitude is trash, why would I even be over there?
One of the dumbest lies that these women who preach about toxic masculinity say is when they say things like, oh, it's okay for men to be emotional. I want my man to be emotional. I want him to vent to me. Be so for real. You do not want an emotional man. You actually find them repulsive. So sorry to all the men that had to endure that time period where being masculine was the absolute worst character trait you could have. We're kind of still going through that, but I feel like we're kind of coming out of it. But do not listen to these women. They do not want you to be emotional. They are lying to themselves. I am a woman that's not mentally ill. I talk to a lot of other non-mentally ill women on a daily basis, and we all agree that venting is very unattractive. Being hyper emotional as a man is very unattractive. And the thing is, these women that preach about toxic masculinity are actually attracted to stoicism. They are actually attracted to masculinity, but they have to lie to themselves to fit within the sisterhood. So then they go find an emotional man and they end up hating the relationship. They are completely exhausted by the emotions. And they get so upset when you put men and women into boxes. And truthfully, I think that that's fake outrage. But the thing is, I'm emotional as a woman. Most women are emotional. If my husband was also super emotional, this would never work. It would be exhausting. So how about we just celebrate the differences? How about we just celebrate the masculinity and the stoicism and say, oh, you know what? I need some of that in my life.
I'm being so serious. The next man that enters my life, he is required to take me out on 3 dates before he gets a sleepover and before he gets my clothes off. Okay, I'm being so for real right now because here's the thing. As soon as you spend the night with a man, not even doing anything, they stop asking you out on dates. Then, once you sleep with them, they don't want anything to do with you anymore, which, like, whatever. I'm tired of men sexualizing me and objectifying me. Yeah, I've made it very easy for them to do that in the past, but, like, I'm done. I'm seriously done. Like, hookup culture is fun for, like, 5 minutes.
I miss connection. I miss having feelings. I miss being yearned for. I miss yearning. I can't just keep getting obsessed with a man for a week or two and then moving on to the next one. It's too exhausting, and it's honestly like mentally draining. So seriously, the next guy that entered my life, he has to take me on 3 dates. Not sleepovers, not hangouts at his apartment. He has to take me to in-person public activity dates, whether it's dinner, whether it's going on a walk, something. I am tired of a man being like, let's go on one date, and then you can come over, and you can just come over every time you want to hang out. No. What happened to romance? I want romance! Anyways, celibacy era is going great so far. So good.
I will ask my man to do anything for me. Anything. But the moment that man asks me to do something for him, I get irritated. I'm so annoyed. I don't want him to ask me for anything. He should just do everything for me, but I shouldn't be expected to do anything for him because it's annoying.
I will ask my man to do anything for me, but I swear to you, the moment that he asks me to do anything, I'm irritated. And it could be the simplest task, like, oh, could you rinse this cup out for me because you're right there by the sink? Pissed. Instantly pissed. Or, oh, you know, could you go hand me a towel because I forgot to grab it? Why the would you not grab that towel? I don't know what it is about him asking me for something that triggers something in me. Like, it really pisses me off.
You shouldn't be married. Like, you're not. You should leave. Please leave that man so that man can find a woman who is going to actually love and appreciate the that he's doing, because you don't care about that man. You probably just care about what he can do for you. Probably, I say, but you just care about the that he can do for you, and that's it. You need somebody to serve you without serving the person, and that doesn't work well. I'm surprised he's still in a relationship with you at this point, because you're basically a user.
A lot of these modern women are confused by men minding their business, by men not paying them any attention, you know? And a lot of modern women don't really realize that men have learned that, you know, maybe in a certain setting, I'll say something, right? Maybe. It depends. I got to be feeling real froggy at that day or that day, and I'll leave. But that's going to be few and far between, right? Not necessarily saying I got to get some liquid courage, but few and far between. And that few and far between is what's killing modern women. It's what's confusing them, right? Because they think, well, you know, I'm going out to the bar every Friday night and I have not been approached. I have not been talked to. Men just stare at me. Exactly. Because that few and far between might be, oh, every 10th time I go to the bar, I might say something. And so he don't go to the bar that often. So it might take him 3 years to go to the bar, and you know, that 10th time, hey, I like your dress tonight. And that's it. And she didn't go in 2 or 3 years. Well, you know, you can usually get a hey, I think you're cute from a man, probably every week if you wanted to. But modern women are thinking that they're supposed to be getting all this attention because I'm a princess. And with the way that y'all been acting, it's not really that way anymore.